specialize in business telephone systems, surveillance, so video camera surveillance, security systems, both home and business, access control, which that's like the locking devices where you have a little key fob and unlocks and locks doors, as well as audio and video solutions. So just to kind of give you guys a little introduction of myself. What I'm here to talk to you guys a little bit today is about your telephone system. I don't have pricing and things at this point, and there's some reasons for that which I want to talk to you guys about, just because I need to get a little bit more information from you guys and hopefully some department heads. But what I was, Tamara called, or we read the paper that you guys' lease is coming to its end of your current telephone system, and so we at least wanted to call and see if there are some ways that we could help, some partnerships we could put together. I believe back when you guys started and put this system in, Diode at the time wasn't doing telephone systems. They still were doing them, maintaining them, but with the nature of telephone systems, they changed so incredibly fast, as with everything. So they just weren't doing it at the time. And since then, we now take care of the hospital. We take care of the school systems, phone systems. We also just put a new system at Riverside. We put one at the Fairbury News with the old company I was with, but are going to continue to maintain it. So just to give you a little example of what we're doing right now in Fairbury. Some things that I kind of want to talk to you guys about anymore is about your lease and how that works. Are you guys, and you guys don't have to tell me, but your system's not that old for one. And so I don't want to come in here and make you guys waste money on a new system, but what a guy needs to really look at is what's your system doing now for you, what the new systems can do, and if a new system can provide some sort of return on investment, because anymore a phone system is more of a business tool than just answering the phone and transferring it, in my opinion. And so that's one thing that how it usually works a lot better is to talk to the department heads about the new things that the phone system can do. Because if it's just answering phones and transferring them, then you maybe should look at if it's just a dollar buyout at the end of your lease, then we can help maintain the systems if you guys would like us to, since we're close, just right over there in Diller. Or if you're happy with your service, that's fine too. But we'd like to obviously be a partner with you guys, and by that, I'm not trying to not be a salesman here, but if a new phone system can't provide you guys so maybe some reduction in your monthly bill from Windstream, B, a way to help improve departments and how they work, then really maybe it's time just to wait until your system gives out, or wait a little bit until we know. So those are a couple reasons I don't have pricing. One thing, I am set up for Thursday if you have maybe a demo, and I was hoping to at least sit down and maybe talk to some department heads, and maybe if Thursday doesn't work, find a day to see and to show them, because anymore with telephone systems, they're set up for more applications. So they're kind of like the cell phone moved from answering the calls to now applications. And that's kind of how phone systems are built. The phone systems that we put in right now, they're basically a hybrid type system, and so what that means is they go from what you have on your desk right now is a digital telephone set. So a digital telephone set basically means that it's got wires going physically from here to the phone box, okay? An analog phone set would be like you have at home, but there could be some scattered throughout the building. So a fax machine is kind of an analog phone set to a phone system. And so what happens is now they've introduced what's called voice over IP. Okay, so that's the new piece of phone systems now, and how that works is basically the phone, I have a phone on my laptop. Okay, so basically I work a lot of different areas. I actually live in Wahoo, work the sales, but I'm down in Diller a lot. But when I'm at home, I have an IP telephone set on my computer, and also a phone sitting on my desk that's just connected to the internet. When somebody at Diller calls me, they just dial a 3-digit extension, just like if I was to call from in here into Sanders' office, they do the exact same thing. So that's where IP comes into play, so the remote user or the person traveling, even the remote office. So we see a lot of places where like you have the courthouse here and maybe the police station or some of the shops aren't necessarily tied to the system physically, but they want to take so they have 1 or 2 lines maybe over at a shop. Well, you can take and maybe cut $30 off that line, run the phone through the phone system here, and now it's an extension off the phone system. So when somebody needs to call a shop, they just hit the shop button or they dial the number. So that's one way that we see where we can cut some costs, because you don't need 1 or 2 lines now at the city shop because it just comes through the phone system. So that's an example of how IP telephony works. Another example is a phone on your desk. Let's say, we're remodeling Sandra's office. Well, she could take her phone, unplug it, plug it into an internet jack anywhere, and now she has phone service. Her phone moves with her, so it doesn't matter where you're at so much. So there's not as much calling the like Diode, for example, to come and say, I need you to move this phone into this office. Physically now, when somebody moves that, they go down to the phone room, take a jumper wire, and move it. So that's how, the older, and we still put a lot of those systems in, but what we put in typically is a hybrid, so you mix all the digital, analog, and IP all together. So that being said, there's also applications built onto the computer for call logs, so you can actually go through your computer, see a call log, who called you, who you called. If department heads want to see who their employees are calling and who they're spending their time with, they can easily pull up their call log and see what's going on. We talked a while back about a phone number that was dialed and weren't sure where it came from or where it went. That's a real simple thing now in new phone systems. You just type that number in, it'll pop up who made the call, what time the call was at, and those types of things. Also, taking notes on calls is real popular now. Right on your computer, as you're talking, you take the notes, and those notes stay with that call for its eternity in the system. So if you need to pull up those calls, you can take a look at those things. Other things like call recording are really, really popular, especially in government type buildings where they can record every single call that comes in and goes out. It's important with threats, also with just any type of order taking, and just having a record of what happened. We use it a lot just for, what's nice about after the recording's made, it's an MP3 or a WAV format, so that format can be saved, it can be emailed, it can be archived, and different things like that. So those are some of the popular things that are out there right now. The mobility functions, obviously, you can now have your cell phone, your tablet, all these can be phone system extensions. Basically, I have an extension on my tablet here where I can talk internally to Diller, and if I call out from my tablet, it looks like I'm at Diller. But those are so when you look at phone systems, there's a lot of different applications. So for me to just give you a price and say, well, here's what that's really hard for me to do.